Welcome back, everyone. I've got a few things that I want to talk about. Firstly, this Australian police officer on the screen. I want to talk about him. His face is blurred, but I've got the real photos. That's been shared in the group before. I want to talk about him. I want to talk about how Hong Kong is losing its freedoms. Furthermore, they have lost even more freedoms. The Tiananmen Square vigil that they usually have every year has been cancelled. I also want to talk about the Hong Kong police advertising creating job listings within our universities, trying to hire white Australian men to go and beat up people in Hong Kong as a little bit of a propaganda coup for the CCP. And that's kind of their plan, right? And also, I want to talk about this guy. I want to talk about how our universities have been subverted. There's quite a few things that I want to cover right now and mesh them all together. Making daily videos, so that is great, so that I can work my way through a lot of these topics faster, which is great. So let's get on with the first article. South Australian Police investigates photo of officer purportedly expressing support for the Hong Kong police force. Now, this is a real photo. This is an Australian police officer who clearly is supporting the Hong Kong police. This is disgusting. The Hong Kong police are bashing grannies in the street. They're shooting teenage boys. They're arresting teenage girls, taking them back to the jail cells and raping them. They're taking disabled people 5 stories up off apartment blocks and throwing them on the concrete so that they splat. They're throwing healthy young men and throwing them off apartment blocks as well, and they're becoming disabled when they hit the concrete. They refer to the Hong Kong people as cockroaches. This is what the Hong Kong police are. The Hong Kong police are the scum of the goddamn earth. They are scum, working on behalf of Carrie Lam, who is a scumbag puppet herself of Xi Jinping. Hong Kong is losing its freedoms, and we have an Australian police officer supporting raping teenage girls. Maybe he's a rapist himself. Let's have a look. Let's go through this. And I found this. I can say there's an investigation underway, and a disciplinary investigation. So maybe he's been found guilty already. They've found out that the photo is real. I have not had any suggestion put to me that it was doctored. So it has not been photoshopped. It's a real photo. So when I first saw that, I was shocked. I can't believe an Australian police officer would support bashing people in the street. Maybe this is his little wet dream when he goes home at night. He thinks, maybe I can rape some teenage Aussie girls and bash some Aussies. Maybe that's what he really wants. Who knows? There are some sickos out there, and this guy probably is a sicko. There's something wrong with him. He's married. He's married. Jeez. Maybe she's a murderer as well. Let's continue. What have I got here? I have Hong Kong police target office workers in lunchtime crackdown. They're just continuously making life difficult for the Hong Kong people. Imagine being in Hong Kong right now. It would be hell. Your economy is collapsing. The world is sanctioning Hong Kong because of the actions of the CCP. You can't do anything in your own city. You've also got the coronavirus going around, which China sent into Hong Kong. Imagine being a Hong Kong person right now. It would be utterly hell. Hong Kong police deny application for city's annual Tiananmen Square vigil. Surprise, surprise. It has not stopped in, by the looks of things, 30 years. They can use the excuse of the virus all they want, but I dare say when the virus is over and they've got through the virus next year, I bet they just won't allow them to do the Tiananmen Square vigil next year either. This is what the CCP is doing. They're slowly subverting Hong Kong and taking all of their rights. Here we go. Here, Hong Kong has annually commemorated China's 1989 Tiananmen Square massacre. It's the only place in China where they can say the three T's: Tiananmen, Taiwan, and Tibet. You can talk about any of those things in Hong Kong, but in more recent years, they've been just slowly taking away their freedoms. By the looks of things, that's the Tiananmen Square massacre. All these people are probably dead now. Maybe that Aussie police officer can't wait to drive a tank down George Street and kill Australians. It's probably what he wants. He looks like a bastard. So, if we have a look up here, Hong Kong police banned Tiananmen Square memorial vigil citing COVID-19. Look at how many people would come out. By the looks of that's Kowloon. That's Hong Kong Island. That's Hong Kong Island, towards the middle there. It's just hard to tell because there's the, yeah. Sorry guys, got a bit distracted looking at the photo. Hong Kong police again, another article on that. Now, what has recently been happening is UK and the United States have been speaking up because of this. Beijing has now wanted to put in place a new controversial security law. Maybe I can get hold of that and have a little read about that. And sweeping anti-sedition legislation in Hong Kong. Interesting stuff. Maybe we can have a look at that. There we go. Controversial Hong Kong security law. This happened 3 days ago by the looks of things. And they're threatening the United States. China threatens to retaliate against the United States over Hong Kong. My understanding is that Trump ordered his government to begin the process of eliminating the city's special status. It's had a special status forever because it was different from China. It wasn't subverted by, it wasn't run by the communist government. It's supposed to be a democracy. It's supposed to be a democracy for at least another 27 years, something like that now, 23 years. And China is breaking, you guys know all this, they're breaking every rule in the book. This is today. Now, finally, what I wanted to get to, and this is what ties all of this news in together, is firstly, Hong Kong police, evil. Secondly, this police officer, Australian police officer, who he's evil too because he can't wait to get his hands on your daughters and bash them and murder them because that's what he supports, right? That's what the Hong Kong police do. They rape and murder teenagers. And this is what I want to get to as well, is Australian universities removed job listings for Hong Kong police force after backlash. Well, if there wasn't a backlash, how did it even get up? Now, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of that, but this is the whole point of this video, is that there's been these two listings go up. So University of New South Wales, that's in Sydney, probationary inspector in the Hong Kong police force. Absolutely disgusting when you think about it. And they're advertising in our universities. How do you think that happened? Well, because our universities have the Confucius Institutes and they're subverted by the CCP. They're already run by the CCP. Here's another one, University of Melbourne. How did they get away with this? How did they get away with this? Now, what would you be doing if you took a job working for the Hong Kong police? Well, let's have a look at this. You would be, most probably, if you have a look at this, Indo-Pacific News. A well-known Hong Kong police officer, infamous for his trigger-happy character and for pointing his gun at protesters this year. So this wasn't too long ago. He said in his Weibo that if the United States enacts sanctions against Hong Kong, police will arrest Americans in Hong Kong. That's the Hong Kong police force, courtesy of Beijing. Now, this is him right here, and what they're obviously going out and trying to do is they are trying to recruit Australians to go and arrest all of the expats in Hong Kong. This can be part of what is going on. I think that is despicable that the Australian government allows this to happen. I don't think that this has made front page news. It should be front page news that our universities are looking to hire people to go bash people in the street. That's really what their job is. Let's not pretend that the Hong Kong police are a real police force. They're just a force of thugs acting on behalf of an evil communist dictatorship. Finally, I just wanted to get that message out to you guys today, because I think it's quite important that you guys are aware of what's going on. We've got Hong Kong police advertising, saying to the Australian people, come over here, help us beat up some Hong Kong people. And we have Australian police officers like this bastard. He just can't wait. He just can't wait to get his hands on bashing your teenage children, because he obviously wants that to happen in Australia. So yeah, just thought I'd bring that to you guys today. If you like what I'm doing here, make sure you click the subscribe button. I'll try to keep up to date with what's going on every day. We'll see how long I can do daily videos. And if you like what I'm doing, you want to keep me independent, make sure you at least consider supporting me on Patreon. Even $1 a day would make a huge difference. And I'll see you guys in the next video.